This is, just a unique opportunity for us to connect with you guys, our audience, our prospective students. Some of you are parents. Some of you are parents of these guys. Some of you are parents of prospective college students who are interested in what Biola is about, what we have to offer, the different majors that we have. So we wanted to take this time to talk to you guys and just, give you guys a day in the life of what it looks like to be a student here and just who we are. So I'm going to let our group introduce themselves, and then we'll go from there and answer some of your questions. Starting with Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim. I am from Evo Beach, Hawaii. I am a junior sociology major.
Hi, I'm Austin. I'm from Granite Bay, California, and I'm a film major.
Hey, I'm Ashley. I am a sophomore Christian Ministries major from Mission Viejo, California.
Hey guys, my name is Fair. I'm a political science sophomore, and I'm from Austin, Texas.
Hi guys, my name is Genevieve. I'm a freshman here at Biola. My major is psychology and I'm doing a minor in English.
Hey guys, I'm Taylor. I'm a junior here from Whittier, California, and I'm studying elementary education.
I'm Brenna Diemski. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I'm currently studying business with emphasis in marketing management.
Hey guys, I'm Sam. I'm a freshman at Biola studying biological science, and I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Hey, I'm Tyler Martin. I'm from Kokomo, Indiana, and I'm a freshman majoring in Christian ministry.
All right, and as you can see, there's a real-life students. They're not like cardboard cutouts, right? Like Biola or something like that. So we wanted to really connect with you guys. We know that a lot of you follow our bloggers already and are like asking questions and stuff like that. So this is your opportunity to ask us live questions. You can either tweet us at Biola Blogs and use the hashtag AskBiola, because on our website we got a feed. Oh yeah, our website is watch.biola.edu/admissions, but you're probably already here, so just in case you want to be like, oh yeah, he's telling the truth. But as you can see on the right-hand side, there's a column where you can ask questions. Also, you can text us. If you text the word Biola to 82257, so you're going to text Biola and then write your question and send that to 82257. You can text us questions if you want to ask a question anonymously. But I do have to say that data rates and message rates may apply, so make sure to read the fine print at the bottom or ask your parent or guardian, right? So anyway, let's dive into some questions, because you guys are ready to answer questions, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm. Awesome. Well, we do have a Twitter question that we want to dive in with from Savvy Melton, at Savvy Melton, which...
Savvy!
Oh, do you know it?
No, but I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's a great name. So she is asking, what is the best part about campus life? So, I don't know, Ashley, since you have the instant connection with Savvy, why don't you feel that?
The best part about campus life, I don't know, there's like always things happening on campus all the time. This Thursday we have a thing called the Eddy, and it's an outdoor concert that Associated Students puts on once a month, right? Yeah. And that's really awesome. It's free. They bring in a bunch of different musicians and stuff. We also have a ton of other events happening all the time. Dorm events, mock rock, nation ball, pumpkin pie. Just like there's always things to go to and do, and even if there's nothing happening, there's always great people to hang out with because it's Biola.
That's and I feel like there's different places on campus too that are more. Obviously, there's the library that's very quiet. You go to study, but there's also places on campus that's a little more social, right? Like, is there? I know I'm thinking of like the fireplace. Does anyone have like a special connection with the fireplace pavilion?
Yeah, I love the fireplace pavilion. I don't know. I feel like when I go there, I'll bring a blanket, and it's just this little place that we have that there's a bunch of different, like you can pull up chairs around this fireplace, and there are also heaters. So I cracked up at first coming from Wisconsin the fact that there were heaters because it's gonna be like 55 degrees. And,
that's pretty rough for California.
Right?
55. Let's turn up the heat.
Yeah. So to be there and to be all snuggled up and just being able to read your book, or like, because you're gonna have to read through with like all my Bible classes, just being able to be in a fireplace, be all cozied up, go to Commons and get something to drink and just feel all comfy. It feels like the closest thing to fall. So yeah.
That's really cool. And if you're just joining us, this is our live blogger webcast, so thank you for joining us. As you may or may not know, the November 15th application deadline is mere days away. I mean, I'm sure you guys are watching this online while you're like, oh, okay, I'm filling out my essay. Oh, okay, you know, that's cool if you want to do that. You know, have multiple windows open. But you need to, well, you can go online to fill that out. The website is undergrad.biola.edu/apply2015. And yeah, we just really are excited about hearing from you guys. November 15th, if you apply to Biola by November 15th, you will hear back from us as far as our decision for application by January 15th. So it's just a good way for you guys to just get a jump on things in terms of figuring out college. Because I know for a lot of you seniors, or if you're a transfer student, you're like, man, this is a ton of work, you know, just going to, if you're in community college, like, I got to go to class, you know, 3 different times a day, morning, noon, and night, and when do I get a chance to figure out college? Apply by November 15th, and you'll be able to just be that much further ahead of the game, right? And I feel like some of our bloggers actually kind of had a similar process when they were applying for Biola to be a student. They went online, they kind of were checking that out. I think, Sam, you applied online,
Let's
right?
see. My experience with applications just involved a lot of just having to have the opportunity to know where I was accepted and where I wasn't accepted by the end of the year, because I wanted to know that just so I could better prepare my plan. So yeah, all the colleges I applied to, I did the early application deadlines for all those, and that was really nice because I was able to like kind of just know by kind of end of December / like beginning of January time just where I was going. And Biola, we always offered this fee waiver that you can contact your admissions counselor for. My experience with that just involved getting a code from her that she emailed me, and it's really nice, kind of saves some money, gives you some extra money to go like spend with your friends before you spend it all on your education. It's a nice little tip, just tricks of the trade there for applications.
Sure. And to expand on that, there's different fee waivers on College Board. If you go on that website, there's a way which is linked to the SAT. You can look at fee waivers for that. There's an application fee, so I guess this is a good time to go over the elements of how to apply to Biola, right? So let's do this. So let's say, who knows the first step to apply? Like, where do you go to apply? I just said it earlier. Who was paying attention?
You go to biola.edu.
Undergrad.biola.edu/apply now.
Yes! Yeah. Next year we'll have like an insert, a graphic. Right, but yeah, so what was it again? I think, Ashley?
Undergrad.biola.edu/apply now. Right?
Yeah, you can. There's different. If you go to undergrad.biola.edu/apply2015, that takes you directly to the application. Cool. But if you go to apply now, like Ashley said, it kind of goes over the steps, which is helpful to look at. There's also an application fee, which you have to submit. As Sam was talking about, he had a special fee waiver that he was able to connect with his counselor to kind of figure that out. So that option is available for some people if they're kind of in a financial situation. We can definitely talk to you about that. But otherwise, there is an application fee. There's also, what else? So that's 2 things. Go to the website, application fee. What's the third?
Next is high school transcripts.
High school transcripts.
Yeah. And you can get those from your counselor back at your high school. Just let them know what you need and they can get those sent in.
Perfect, yeah, Genevieve, that's great. And also if you're in community college or at like a state or a different college, a state school or something like that, you would want your college transcripts as well. So that's 3. What's the last thing? Tyler, I think you said earlier.
That would be SAT or ACT scores.
Awesome.
So yeah, you just get those and then send them on the College Board website to Biola.
Perfect. Yeah, so just 4 things. It's super simple. You don't need like letter of reference or like, people will ask a lot of times, oh, what's the pastor's reference or something. We just want to hear from you guys, fill out the application and do those steps. If you are a transfer student, you do not have to submit your SAT or ACT scores, because if you have 15 or more collegiate credits, then you're considered a transfer student. So then you would be able to transfer into Biola, so you can skip that 4th step. Let's go to our questions, because man, we were promoting this as an Ask Biola thing. Now we're just chatting, right? So we want to talk to you guys. We want to interact. We have a question, a text question, which is really exciting for Genevieve. I won't give out the phone number because that would be inappropriate, but it's not a local area code, so that's exciting. So it's where are they from? So anyway, Genevieve, this question comes to you, and the question is, as it's loading my computer. What was most difficult about moving onto campus, like away from home?
Right. Okay, that one's kind of easy to answer because I'm super, super close to my family back home. So leaving them was definitely difficult, and I struggled with that a lot in the beginning. But just being here at Biola around these wonderful people, that's been super helpful. And just, yeah, like everyone at Biola is super welcoming and lovey, and it just feels like a super big family. So that made that a lot easier, but that was definitely difficult, like leaving family and friends and my younger sisters. But yeah, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be, just because the community here is super great, and it definitely helped me with that transition.
Excellent. Yeah. Does anyone want to piggyback off of that, or even the question goes on to ask, like, what was it like making friends? Because that's tough too. Because some people, like Tyler, you came out of a different state. So.
Yeah, totally. I would say that. I mean, it's great because you come and like you're meeting all these people, and it's really cool. But you just really miss kind of like the depth of the relationship you had at home, because you know you had your friends in high school probably for years, and so I really felt like I was meeting people and it was cool and like everyone was accepting, but it still was really hard, like not having those like really deep close relationships. But I mean, like Genevieve said, like everyone's super like accepting and like wants to help you with the process, and so it just took time, like it wasn't gonna be something that was like just super easy no matter what, no matter how great the community is, it's going to be hard a little bit, but totally now, like on the other side of it, like I feel like I made really great relationships, and it's just really awesome and rewarding.
That's great.
Yeah, and be encouraged by that, and the fact that, Biola, they do work really hard with like student life and resident life to like plan events that get you involved.
Yeah, your
just
floor.
Floor events, all halls. Just a lot of fun events through your associated students, and I can think of a lot of really cool memories already so far, and this is already my first semester.
Yeah.
I'm just meeting great people that I've put on my radar and wanting to just like get to know more and like take time to invest in, and they do good at helping you along with that. You're not alone in trying to find your friends at all.
Yeah, and stemming off that a little bit, the memories too is that because in high school you probably have been with your friends for so long, so you have like memories with them and you can laugh about different things that you did, and it's hard because you're coming to school, you don't have those formed memories with all the different people that you're meeting. So it's cool when you say, hey, remember when we went to the Eddy together? Remember when we went to Nation Ball and we all dressed up like this? And kind of different events that Biola has on campus helps to create those memories with people, so that in the future you have a chance to look back on that and form those friendships with those different memories that you're together with. And you're forming them not just on a fun level, which is so great, but getting that depth then and saying, hey, what about your Old Testament class? What's going on with that? And what is the Lord teaching you? Or how are you doing with that? So being able to connect with people on a spiritual level that people are instantly pretty much going to want to connect on that level with you, so you don't have to feel like hesitant to go to that depth. You kind of are invited into that place. Yeah.
And just to speak into that, the students are saying is wonderful. You're not alone. I think that's huge. And I just want to let you guys know that our Residence Life program is stellar. It's just amazing. As Sam was saying, as Brenna was saying, we have staff who live in the dorms whose job it is to care for you as a student, care for you spiritually, just academically, where you're at in life. And that's the most important thing for us is just your well-being and kind of how you're doing. And also an encouragement for you guys, yes, college is a huge decision. I mean, no matter where you go, if you end up going to Biola, that's great. If you end up going somewhere else, if you feel like God calling you somewhere else, that's great too, because you're following God's plan. But wherever you end up going, it's going to be scary. It's going to be different. It's going to be new. But like our students were saying, our bloggers, it's an amazing opportunity, because here at Biola, and just when you go off to school, everyone is more or less in the same spot. You might feel alone, but I encourage you guys kind of recognize that everyone else is feeling the same thing, and in that, you guys form friendships and come together, right? Because everyone feels a little out of their element, right? So it's an exciting time. It's a new time, but yeah, I just want to encourage you guys. But we digress, because Twitter's blowing up right now. I think we're shutting it down. Oh no. Fair, you have a question from Jared Kang.
Oh gosh.
Thanks for watching. That was a positive. Oh gosh.
He was my SOS leader. So
Well, Jared, thank you for watching. How cool.
Thanks for the question.
All right, so he says, Fair, what is your favorite part about being a blogger?
My favorite part about being a blogger, I think, is the community that I get to have. Coming in as a sophomore, knowing that I had made friends from freshman year, but coming in as in this group, forming new relationships and new community, I think that was one of my favorite parts about blogging. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Here's a general question. This comes from @emandm24. It's hard to read Twitter handles, right? So it's Emily Morris is who tweeted this in. She asked, what do you do on the weekends at Biola? That's a great question. We kind of talked a little bit earlier about like what to do on campus. That's a good question. What do you do? Like when the weekend rolls around?
Sleep.
I had a great weekend.
Yeah. Hang out with Austin. Come to Biola.
So this weekend on Friday and Saturday, I got to spend 2 days on a film set, and we traveled all over LA filming at different locations. Like we went to downtown LA, we went to the beach, and we just did a bunch of really cool stuff and filmed this story about a boyfriend and a girlfriend going through some relationship problems. But it was really fun because like I got to hang out with a bunch of film students and meet new people and see new places in LA. So
Yeah. That's anyone else have a stellar weekend?
Oh, well, I've had some stellar weekends.
Or multiple stellar
Yeah, because it's really nice if you can bring a car, but if you can't, there's always people that can drive you. But just being able to go to Big Bear, Laguna,
Wow.
Camping on the beach a couple of times, that stuff's a lot of fun. And it's just, I think, it's part of like just networking and kind of who you know that has like that mountain house and Big Bear and whatnot. Seriously, like sometimes I forgot like what it's kind of like outside of Biola a little bit. And there's awesome opportunities being so close to just the LA area and the beaches. Not even like Disneyland in itself, but just there's so much encompassed in California.
Yeah.
Definitely try and get off at least once a week.
Yeah.
Off campus.
Yeah, off campus once a week. It's great. It's a nice refreshment.
Yeah.
Austin and I had a pretty stellar weekend because we went and saw Interstellar. So.
Stellar.
Biolo's also about joke making. You're a good joke writer. We do have an English major and Christian ministries.
But like really though, even like apart from that, a lot of us went surfing actually on Saturday. Some of the bloggers went. It was my first time ever surfing, being from Indiana, so it was awesome. Like seriously, like every weekend I feel like there's just like some awesome thing to do, and like even if there isn't, I think someone said like there's just awesome people around, so you're never just like, oh man, this is so like, there's always stuff to do, like there's also, I've been to a couple concerts that are so cool on campus and off campus, and obviously there's Disneyland, which I don't have a pass, but
One day.
Really quick, who does have a car on campus? Raise your hand. So two of our bloggers, or two of our student sample, if you will, do have cars. Who does not have a car on campus? Right? So and that's okay, right? Because there's just a lot of things to do, like Sam was saying. Really quick, if you're just joining us, this is our live blogger webcast right now. We're having an awesome time with 9 of our student bloggers, and actually we do have a 10th student blogger. Her name is Shannon, and she is actually studying abroad in South Korea this year. And so she's remotely blogging for us, and it's just a really cool opportunity. So please check out our blog. It's at www.biolablogs.com, and you can check out everybody here on the panel and see what they're up to and everything like that. Really quick, we are real students, right? Like I said, we're not cardboard cutouts, right? These are real living, breathing students. And being that they're real living, breathing students, some of them have class. So as you're watching, 1 or 2 of them may kind of get up and be like, I gotta go take a test, or they might have a Scantron waving around or something like that. So if someone needs to stand up and go and contact the professor or anything like that, just while you're watching, just be aware of that. So have the freedom to do that. We do have another question Let's see. From Savvy Melton has a follow-up question. When are enrollment deposits due for spring 2015? Okay, that's a good question. Well, let me ask the bloggers this. Did any of you enter in the spring as a student? No.
You're not alone, though.
You're not alone, Savvy. There's many people.
Biola is more than just us 9 humans. There's so many more of us.
We're just multicultural, just cornucopia of people. It's wonderful. It's Thanksgiving almost. Oh my gosh. But Savvy, I'm thinking you might be a transfer student. But some people who are incoming freshmen, they might come in for the spring. Some people take a year off of after high school. November 15th is also the deadline for spring. So you're going to want to apply by then, and you're going to hear back from us, right? Your admissions counselor is going to contact you. So you want to enroll your admissions, your deposit, right? Yeah, your enrollment deposit, just as soon as you can. And like I said, November 15th is the application deadline for coming in for the spring. So definitely apply. Just connect with your admissions counselor. And then once you hear back from us, you can go ahead and online, you can pay your enrollment deposit. We have information on our website, undergrad.biola.edu/apply. There's a lot of information there about where you go to pay your enrollment deposit, how you do that, and everything else. How are you guys feeling? Good. Well, I want to get to our questions because we have so many questions. Oh my goodness, like I said, let's see. Denevy, you're a popular girl. You have another question. Oh, and this is kind of like we asked you about what the good part about college life is. Now this question is, what's the worst part about college life?
Okay.
Or maybe the most challenging, or...
Yeah, definitely.
Laundry stuff.
That too. For me, the most difficult part is like finding a balance between having fun with friends and homework and sleep. This past weekend, that was actually one of the biggest struggles because I decided to go to downtown Disney really, really late at night when I had a busy day the next day. So that's definitely really hard because you're here, you're in college, and you feel like you're this free person and you just want to do everything. But it's important to realize, like, we're not able to do everything. So just finding that balance between hanging out with friends, going to a late night commons run or in and out or just things like that, and knowing you have like homework the next day or an exam or work, just different things like that. But I think you eventually find that balance, even though I haven't quite figured it out yet. And it'll come. But yeah, that's definitely difficult, but I think it'll be all figured out. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Anyone else feel they want to speak into that, a challenge?
Yeah, for me, since I'm a local kid, trying to find the balance between my friends here and my friends back home, because both, sides, it's like you have to have attention to both.
Yeah.
And, my first 2 years, I kind of just jumped right into the Biola scene and kind of neglected my friends. But then I was like, oh, no, I can't do that because, both friends, have, needs, that you fulfill in some way, shape, or form. And also, if you're taking a lot of units, because I'm taking 18 units right now, so it is a lot of work, and trying to balance school, work, ministry, it is a challenge, but, it's trial by error, and you work through it. You have all your friends beside you, encouraging you to keep you, aligned on what you are, wanting to pursue and stuff like that, so, yeah.
And just to speak into that a little bit, there's a lot to do at Biola, right? Like Taylor's talking about ministry, schoolwork and friends and everything like that. Again, we have resources for you guys. As I mentioned earlier, Residence Life, we have a stellar Residence Life program, and it's just here for you, just to be an outlet for you. And when you make friends, make sure to be intentional. Obviously, you're here to study, so that's very important, right? And just be intentional about your time, set up boundaries, and that's helpful. And your friends, will hopefully help you with that, kind of keep that in mind. We have a local text question from a local number, so that's really exciting. And I'm not too sure I'm understanding the question exactly, but it asks, is the first early action deadline non-binding? Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by non-binding, but I think so what happens when you apply to a college, you get an acceptance, like you're accepted, right? If you apply to Biola and maybe 2 or 3 different schools, maybe a state school, some may accept you, some may say, sorry, next time, or something like that. So you have the option. When you're accepted, you can either go there or not go there, if that is answering your question. So you're not like locked in to pay tuition if you're accepted, right? To enroll into pretty much every college, most colleges, I'm not sure every college in the nation, but pretty much every college has an application fee of some sort. So there is that, but if you're accepted, you don't have to go there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the basic distinction between that is like early action versus early decision. And with early decision, it's like, if I get in, I'm committing to go here, but that's not what our deadline is. It's just early action. So it's just saying, I'm excited about Biola and I'm applying early because I want to know sooner. So that's what will happen.
Awesome. All right. So we have a lot of someone from Hanford, Genevieve, loves you. That's really sweet. Thank you for that text. That was really sweet. Let's see here. Here's a great text question. And again, thank you guys so much for just for participating with us. We're getting a lot of text questions, a lot of different things. So bear with us as we're trying to answer your questions. And also, a little plug for the blogs again. To follow the students on their blogs, go to www.biolablogs.com, and you can actually ask them questions on their blog. You can ask like an anonymous question, or there's a comment section where you could log in and ask a question there, or you don't have to log in and ask a question, right? So if any of the things we don't answer here, go to biolablogs.com and you can ask those questions there. But this text question is great, so I'm going to get to your question, right now. And you can feel that, I'm sure, at home, like, oh, it's my question. What are some of the student clubs and ministries available to get involved with? I feel like we have some people. Tyler, do you have anything that jumps into your mind?
As far as clubs, I mean, there's basically it's just everything. I feel like, honestly, that you could be interested in. I don't know if this is really a club, but there's instrumental sports, and I do that. I do instrumental volleyball, which is super fun. I've gotten involved with some events for our multi-ethnic program department, which is really cool. Getting to see different cultures and arts and stuff like that. And then there's tons of ministries. There's CSP is really big, California School Project, which I'm not a part of, but I know a lot of friends who are in it. So basically, I would say if you have an interest, there's gonna be an outlet for that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
There's some fun clubs too. There's scuba diving club, cheese club,
Adventure club.
Adventure club, yeah.
Adventure club's pretty popular.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff.
There's a beard club for Taylor.
There's a beard club?
Yeah, it's just I think it's the Handsome Gentleman's Beard Club or something like that.
Don't tease me.
And Tyler.
There's also ethnic clubs Maharlika is the Filipino Cultural Club. There's BASA, which is the Biola Asian Student Association, which is, I'm a part of Maharlika. I was a leader last year and it was pretty awesome. There's also since I'm from Hawaii, there's a Ohana Club. There's also the Hula Ministry. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. My favorite, hide and go seek club.
Yes.
But when do you meet? Because you can never find.
That's half the struggle, just trying to find it. It really is.
We're still trying to have the first meeting. No, that's cool. Actually, Kim, if you could kind of speak to your experience on that a little bit more, just the different, and Tyler, you mentioned it, and if anyone else wants to jump in, that's great. Just your experience with multicultural clubs, or just different events that we have on campus that are maybe kind of oh, this is fun. This is kind of like music, or oh, this is really digging into different student issues and figuring things out. If you don't mind speaking to that.
Sure. Yeah. So Maharlika means royalty in Tagalog. And in the Maharlika Club, we're not all Filipino. So we have friends who are El Salvadorian, Korean, who are white. It's a lot of our friends who aren't Filipino, but we hang out with, and they come to club with us anyway. And we have this really cool event during the spring semester called PCN, which is the Filipino Culture Night. And it's just a night of dancing, singing, acting, and just embracing our culture. There's food, and it's just a lot of fun. Like, we stay up till like 3 o'clock in the morning practicing all night. And it's just a good way for people to like bond and get to know about our culture, get to know about other people's culture.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other clubs that you guys are in? Or?
I just wanted to mention this about the CAF. The CAF is what we call our cafeteria, and this year they have been doing the coolest thing where they have like different food nights. I don't know how to explain it, but this week's like Native American week, so tonight is Native American cuisine, and I just can't wait. What's it gonna be like?
That's awesome.
You know?
Yeah.
Never know.
Indian fry bread? That's what I'm hoping for.
I want to get to the CAF because the food at Biola is amazing. I mean, it's really cool. Some of you may have visited. We just had University Day this past weekend, and that's where we have different events on campus where we open our campus and you can come and visit as like a group with your family or just by yourself. So definitely stop by our cafeteria because it's amazing. But we want to get to your text and your Twitter questions. This question comes from Sierra Moore, and it's for each of you. Okay, so center, find your preparedness. Austin, straighten that shirt. No,
Mom would be mad.
What dorms do each of you live in? So we'll start with that. Again, thank you, Sierra Moore, for for tweeting us. Again. Use hashtag AskBiola and we'll get to your questions. So why don't we start on this side? We'll start with Genevieve, we'll go the back row, and then Fair will go the front row. So everybody, what dorm do you live in?
I live in Sigma, and I truly love it.
For the past 2 years, I lived in Hope, on the core, the most awesome floor that I lived on. And then now I live off campus at home with my mom and my sister.
Also the only floor you lived on. So I lived in Alpha last year, and I live in Stewart this year.
Stewart, yeah. It's awesome.
Stew crew.
I actually live in Stewart too, which is not even like a really big dorm, so it's weird that we all live in it, but it's the best. It's so great.
I live in Hope, and I think that's the best dorm on campus. So lower campus, we have 3 dorms, Hope, Stewart, and Hart. And those dorms are the coolest dorms on campus. To be sorry.
They're all great. Also live in Hope, love it. 2 years strong. It's a good place to be.
I lived in Hope until a couple of weeks ago. And now I'm rooming with this guy, so it's been awesome. I love Stewart, and yeah, it's super cool.
I lived in Alpha my freshman year, and for 2 years in a row, I lived in Stewart. I live on the same floor as Brenna, actually.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, a lot of interconnectedness. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So the follow-up part to Sierra's question is, what is your favorite part about living there? You guys have kind of touched on it, but any like specific stories or moments that is appropriate to share?
One of the funniest ones, all of the guys, we took the entire CAF, like the very front of it, just all the tables and everything, and we started just to eat all of like the meatball sandwiches, and we just raided the entire thing, and we were trying to stack the plates and see how high we could stack it until it would fall.
Such a guy floor
And
thing.
it was, I know, right? But we got, past our heads, and then it crashed, and there was like huge, huge loud noise, and all of us, we were laughing. It was awesome.
Workers.
Oh no, we picked it all up. It was okay.
That's good. We don't necessarily endorse plate stacking. Yeah. But
Good community life.
Yeah, really.
So because I lived in Alpha, which is community style, which means that Kim can speak to this too. Which basically means that multiple rooms will share a bathroom. So that is community style, and then Stewart is suite style. So it's 2 rooms that are joined by a bathroom. So it's kind of different. I actually got one of you posted on my blog and asked about which do you prefer as a freshman? Would you rather be in community style or suite style? And I think that they're very different. With community style, you're seeing the girls that are living on your floor outside of your room very frequently because you're in the bathroom, you're washing your face together, you're brushing your teeth together. So you're in the room with each other, you're keeping your doors open. With Stuart, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more difficult because of that suite style, and the doors are going to open to the outside for the girls, and not for all of the guys. They have quads. It's a little bit different. But so looking at that, I really loved both of the experiences. Getting that community style where I was so close to the girls on my floor that first year. We Skyped actually this summer, or Google chatted, or however it worked, where all 10 of us were on our computers I think we were in 5 different states on 3 different time zones, just getting to talk to each other throughout the summer. So really building that community, like Sean was mentioning, our student life and our residence life does a great job in facilitating that. So that's kind of the community style. And then suite style, it's a lot more intentional. You have to be a little bit more like, I want to hang out, let's get a meal together, let's hang out. But kind of the transition between community style living and apartment style living. So it's nice to have that transition in a place like that.
If you're joining us right now, this is our Biola Blogs live web chat. We're really excited that you're here. Let's give a round of applause to our audience. It's so cool that you guys are here and that you're following along. It looks like we have some parents watching us, so we're going to get to your questions in a moment. But I know, exciting, right? And it might be some of your parents, who knows? But we really want to let you guys know, November 15th, our application deadline, our early action application deadline is coming up in mere days. I mean, like 72 hours. So, yeah, 3 days, right? 3 days. That's really coming up quick. So please, if you haven't applied already, if you're thinking about, is college the thing for me? I don't know. Is Biola the thing for me? I encourage you guys, apply. It's pretty simple, like we talked about. You just need 4 things. You're going to go online, undergrad.biola.edu/apply2015, and that'll take you to the actual application, or you can just type in undergrad.biola.edu/apply, and that'll kind of take you to a site where it kind of breaks down the steps for you. So fill out an application online. There's an essay component to that and just like some personal information so we can know who you are. There's an application fee. You're going to want to send in your official transcripts, whether that's from high school or if you're in college right now and you want to transfer your college transcripts. And then if you're coming from high school, your SAT or your ACT scores. So definitely check that out. It's an amazing experience, as you can hear from our students right here. But let's get to this question. It is, I'm thinking from a parent. It's, is it a local number? Yes, it's a local number. Okay, let's see. So it says, what items would you recommend to put in a care package for your Biola student? So I'm assuming it's a parent. So yeah, have you guys received anything, or like what would you want to receive?
I feel so loved just by that question being asked. Oh man.
And just while I'm thinking, we have a parent association on our campus, so that's just to facilitate parents. Sometimes you're sending your student from out of state, sometimes from out of the country. We have a large number of international students on our campus. And so we want you to feel connected with your son or daughter still, right? Or even if it's like a nephew or a grandchild. So we have a program where you can send care packages, you can connect with your students. We also open our campus to parents and grandparents and just families. So you're always welcome on our campus. But you guys, any ideas?
Snacks. Just because, I don't know, the calf food, it's great, but it's more meal kind of stuff. And like you can take an apple here and there, but I don't know, just having kind of snack food. And then like just a little accessory stuff, as in like extra little like hooks you can stick things on. Just like, I don't know what you call those, but just as accessories, pencils, stuff like that.
Yeah.
School supplies.
Yeah.
I would say as far as
money.
You said yeah. As far as like you said snacks, but I would say like specifically like food from home, as far as like home cooking, you know, which is great. Like my mom has sent me like cookies and stuff, and you're just like, these are amazing. Like, my mom made these, you know. So I'd say that.
Yeah, for me, I think words of encouragement is really important. So getting that letter from your parent and just being encouraged in a hard season or a hard day. So hearing those encouragements can definitely make a student's day.
I think pictures from home are a good thing too. I know like there's social media and we can see pictures that way, but having a physical picture like printed out, I think that makes a difference also.
That's you. That's great. We have another question here. This one is about applying to Biola, so that's so exciting. Again, everybody, where do you go to apply?
undergrad.biola.edu/apply.
Yeah. That was interesting. So there's different iterations, right? You can go to undergrad.biola.edu/apply, and that's kind of like the page that gives a breakdown on like, oh, if you're a first-time freshman, you're a transfer student, you're an international student, right? And you can kind of find the steps there, how to apply. But if you're just like, hey, I don't care who I am, I just want to fill out the application, you can go to undergrad.biola.edu/apply 2015, 2015, right? Not like writing out like TWOTH, that would be obnoxious, right? So it's undergrad.biola.edu/apply 2015, and that'll take you right to the application. So you can fill that out. Again, application fee, your transcripts, and your SAT or ACT scores. And so that's getting to this question, Biola, if I am applying for spring 2015, and awesome, that's coming up, that's so cool, do my transcripts have to be in by the 15th?
I think they just have to be postmarked by that time.
Yeah. So I think
part of the application requirement.
Yeah, Denevi mentioned earlier, and maybe someone else did too, that you can go to your high school counselor or your high school counseling department, basically the high school office, and they can set that up in terms of getting your official high school transcripts to be mailed to Biola University. And like Kim said, you want it postmarked by the 15th, right? So definitely get those into us as soon as possible. And it's, yeah, so go to your high school or your college administrative building to do that. So let's see. Let's get back to these questions. Denevi, you're getting a ton of questions here. You've got another question, and I don't recognize the area code, so maybe it's in California, maybe Northern or Central California. Okay. Denevi, is being a Biola blogger an exciting job?
Oh my goodness. It's the most exciting thing ever. I get to hang out with these great people all the time, plus another 20 great ambassadors. It's really awesome. I've said like 5 times already, we're a big family, but guys, we truly are. Like, this is great. And yeah, it's yeah, it's just a lot of fun, and being able to blog is great because I get to just share my life with the whole world practically. So yeah, it's definitely an awesome experience, especially doing it as a freshman. Super great.
And kind of going off of that, this is a student job, basically, and we have a lot of opportunities for student employment on campus. I know that some people coming to campus, they want to work, right, to either pay for tuition or just have extra spending money for the weekends. And so for you guys, for the Biola bloggers, what is it like finding a student job? You know, what was your process like if you've had another student job or working during college?
I actually just talked about that with somebody about, do you think it's manageable, or like how financially can I make college work? And I think that we negate the fact that, oh, if I work, then I can help pay for college, you know? That can be an extra couple $1,000s per semester or per year, depending on what you do and how many hours you do. So just knowing that that is an option. As Taylor was saying, 18 units. I took 18 units both semesters last year and still worked, and we worked like 10 to 20 hours a week depending on the week and what we have to do. So, and it was completely manageable, and that was my freshman year. I think there's kind of a stigma around freshman year of like, oh, you just want to get settled in, like don't overwhelm yourself right away, and totally take that advice. Working too can be, if it's something that you're loving, if it's something that you're doing, it can be a way that you can build community. You can meet some of your closest friends that way, and you're also happen to get paid for doing it. And so just being able to know that you don't need to rule it out as an option, as something that's going to be so overbearing, because usually it's a student job. So you're working with other students, so you're getting to be in community with them, hang out with them, so that when you want to go surfing on the weekend, you can go surfing because you're going with them in different ways like that.
And kind of like my favorite part about just Biola blogging in general, just with 18 credits, having a job, being a science major, I can kind of do it whenever I want to, which is really nice. I don't have a mandatory time like the tour guides might have to be at a place and do something. So I've done my vlogs at like 2 in the morning before, and it works great because fits my schedule. So if you're someone really, going into sciences, 18 credits full or something, or is looking at being involved and having a lot on your plate, blogging is a great way. And it's also been a nice exercise for myself. I normally do it on Sundays, so I recap over the whole week and being able to just like think through, okay, this is what stood out to me, or this is what I really enjoyed. It's a great little release.
And I'll say, actually, I found out about the job from my admissions counselor. So I just thought that was really cool that like my admissions counselor was like, knew me well enough. She was like, you should apply for this. And I was like, okay. And like, now I'm here, which is crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to like find out about jobs, like this job or like other ones.
Yeah, we have a Biola classified section, and that has job listings, student jobs. Some people sell furniture or old guitars or stuff like that, so it's another way that the community is interconnected. We do have another question on our text program. Thank you so much for those of you who are texting and tweeting at us. It's really exciting that we're meeting you guys and talking to you guys. And if you're ever on campus visiting, please let us know if you run into one of us. There's also tour guides. Some of our student workers are tour guides, so you'll probably be introduced to them at some point if you visit our campus, and just let us know, like, hey, you answered my question, or you could be like, you didn't answer my question, so, and then you could ask your question and we'll answer it. But this question is from a local number, so thank you for all our local followers, and it's asking about majors. And so this person is asking, what if you can't choose between majors, which is tough. So this person says, I want to major in music and worship, but unfortunately they didn't get in. And also they want to major in business, so what should I do? Yeah, if I'm reading this right, so it sounds like you're interested in possibly music, maybe not the music and worship, but something musical or business. So you got like a struggle. So I guess for you guys, what was it like choosing a major or kind of landing on it? And have you changed your major like halfway through?
Yeah, I came in as a business major and took accounting, and it just wasn't for me. And since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to be a teacher. So I jumped in to the education program. And to kind of answer that question a little bit, my best, idea would be, where are your strengths at? Like literally make a strengths chart and see like, okay, business, music, okay, what are the benefits of doing this? What are the benefits of doing this? Pros and cons, and really draw it out. That's what I did when I was choosing my major, because my mom literally forced me, do a chart. Okay, business, elementary ed. Okay, go through, and there were like elementary ed just outweighed business for me entirely. Or another option is to do a double major or minor in another, so you can major in music and then minor in business with the Bible minor as well, or do double majors. So, yeah.
For me, I originally wanted to be a nursing major, but I declared kinesiology. Yeah. I took a couple science classes, chemistry, anatomy, and I was really struggling. I couldn't do well. I wasn't managing my time well, and I talked with my anatomy professor. His name is Dr. Harvey. If you come into Biola and you're a science major and you're in anatomy and you have Dr. Harvey, oh my gosh, he is the best anatomy professor ever. But I just talked with him and told him my situation, and he walked me through what are you planning to do? Don't be discouraged because one grade is not gonna ruin your whole life, or one grade isn't gonna determine where you're gonna be in the future. But Dr. Harvey, he really talked about my future with me. What do you see yourself doing? And I was like, I still want to be in the health field. I still want to work in the hospital. And so we decided social work or sociology, and it was pretty awesome. If you can't decide on what major you want to be in, you can come in undeclared. It's actually one of the largest majors on our campus. Ambassador fact, right, guys? Yeah, come in undeclared. You can take in some classes in business and music, decide what you want to do. And yeah, once you get a feel of what you want to do, you can declare it.
I don't know.
I have one more quick thing to add for that. The cool thing with your particular situation with wanting to do music and be involved in music in some way, but also wanting to do business, you can actually do both without doing them both academically. And I feel like that's possible with a lot of different majors as well. You could be in a chapel band, or like be in one of the like music ensembles perhaps, and like see if that's a way that you can do something musically and still do business, or something like that. Like there are lots of ways to sort of get both of your interests in your life.
Yeah, that's a great point. Just the different options that we have available. This is actually a good time to point out we do have a career development department on campus, and it is amazing, like all of the departments on our campus. But career development is for students, for you guys, if you do end up coming to Biola. And the department is there to help you, kind of like Taylor was saying, list out your strengths and maybe your weaknesses, and also your interests. And then they also talk through, kind of like Ashley was saying, like, oh, you know, what options do we have that are clubs or non-academic ways to explore your interests, and then, oh, this major might fit you that's kind of different, right? So the career development department is just there to help give you career counseling. You know, I mean, you probably hear about career counselors, or like career placement organizations, you know, in the working world. Well, this is literally a career placement development organization within Biola that helps you find internships, get plugged into where, you know, you should do your major, and then where you might work after Biola. So it's really a great opportunity for you as students to use that. And I think, like Kim mentioned, undeclared, it's okay if you don't know, if you're stuck between two majors or two interests. You know, maybe it's not a major, but you're like, I really love marine biology, you know, but there's not a marine biology specific major. What do I do? But I still want to come to Biola. You can come in here and be undeclared and kind of figure out like, oh yes, I do. I want to be a science major. I want to teach marine biology someday. So let me figure that out. Or maybe it's, you know what, I just like anatomy, so I want to be just a human biology, or maybe like a chemistry major or something like that. I like to examine water and seawater, which is amazing if you like to do that. So we only have about 8 minutes left, and thank you so much for those of you who have stuck with us this whole time. Can we give a round of applause? Man, you guys are faithful followers. We have another Twitter question, and it's from Delaney Garavee, or Garavee.
Oh, it's my sister.
Oh, it's Denevie's sister. Well, it says, this question is for Denevie. When are there going to be more sibling nights? And there's some emoticons that I can't quite make. It looks like hearts and things like that, so that's really sweet. So actually, that's a good question for you guys. Like, what was it like, even if you're a local student, leaving home, going to live on college campus, right? Some of you are locals, so maybe you visit home every other weekend, but some of you live in Hawaii, and it's hard to fly back home, you know? So, like, what was it like to leave your brothers, your sisters, your family?
It was difficult, honestly.
From where?
I'm from Whittier, so it's like 10 minutes away. I mean, if I catch every single green light, I will be here in 5 minutes or less. But when I left for, you know, to come here to Biola, my sister and I, we could tolerate each other, but, you know, I wasn't really the affectionate type. And the night when we, you know, finally parted ways, I was like, why am I crying? Why am I so emotional? Why do I love you all of a sudden? And yeah, no, that's literally how it went down. And after that point, it was like, wow, I really love my sister. I really love my family. And when I lived on campus for the past 2 years, my relationship both with my mom and my sister, it just grew into where it is now. And now, since I'm living at home, I can pursue relationships with my mom and my sister. Like early mornings, like my mom and I will sit down and have breakfast together and just talk, and, you know, have me vent about, you know, whatever's going on in my life, or you know, frustrations or concerns that I have. Or just, you know, simply just talk and have a cup of coffee and see my dog, and, you know, hang out with my sister. Took her out to get Starbucks yesterday. Haven't done that in a while, but I was really happy to do that. But definitely it was difficult. But I mean, you know, now I know some of us like come all the way from like middle of the United States or so. So I know that's like a little different than me.
You have 2 sisters.
Yeah, I have 2 younger sisters, and we were always like pretty close when I was at home, and so then like leaving, just it was hard. Like I missed them like so much, like more than you think you will. At least for me, like because you kind of in a way like take your siblings and your family for granted when you're at home. You're just like, yeah, it's my family. And then like I'm here and like I haven't seen them in like months, and so it's definitely like it's not like it's been unfortunate that we're like so far away, but it's almost made our relationships like stronger because we just like realized like, oh my gosh, like I miss my sister so much. Like I literally talked to my sister on the phone last night and we were just like reminiscing about childhood, and it's kind of hard, but at the same time it's been a good experience because it just made me appreciate them more, and hopefully I'll get them to come to Biola. That's kind of the end goal. So but yeah, definitely hard experience.
Yeah, I think coming from Texas, I thought I was gonna be super independent, like going to college. I don't need my mom anymore, but realizing that freshman year I definitely missed my mom a lot. I was so homesick a lot, but at the same time realizing that I need to grow at that time, and she was growing too, so we were growing personally and just spiritually too, just growing apart from each other, but also coming back and be like, wow, you've grown so much. So yeah, the distance is hard, but I think sometimes it's good for us and good for our growth as well. So
going off of what they're saying, like I'm from Hawaii, which is an ocean away, and it's really hard for me to go home. Like I know Thanksgiving break is coming up really soon and I won't be able to go home, and like it makes me really appreciate my parents and my family and my siblings a lot, because like going home to Hawaii, like people are like, wow, you live in paradise, like why would you want to come to California? But like I really do miss my parents and my siblings, my brother and my sister, and like I actually do make a point to call my family like at least once or twice a week, just to catch up with them and see how they're doing, see how work's going, and just to be able to like have that interaction with them, because it's hard.
Yeah. I think everyone's speaking into what it means to go to college and really to grow up. I think a lot of us, and as our followers, and thank you everybody who's watched our live webcast for this whole time, we really appreciate it. But the decisions that you're making, and probably why you're watching this right now, is because you're like, wow, it's going to be hard to go off to college, to maybe go to Biola if it's down the street or if it's an ocean away. But that's part of growing up, right? I mean, even in scriptures, it talks about the road's not going to be easy all the time, but God is with us, right? And so as we've been talking about, and I hope you're hearing our hearts, that there's amazing experiences at Biola. Some of it's tough because that's growing up, but it's for our betterment, right? It's ultimately we're going to come out as better, more complete and equipped people. So just really encourage you guys in that just to read the blogs of our student workers and just kind of ask them questions and follow up on their story, because they're talking about this on their blogs. Biolablogs.com is where you can go, and they're talking about the good times, the low times, but also the times where they feel just lifted up by each other, by the Lord, and just kind of what they're doing. So we only have about 2 minutes left, and that's kind of sad because this has been amazing. Have you guys had a good time?
Yeah.
Awesome, and thank you guys. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get to every single text question, and thank you for texting. That's so awesome. We got to most of the Twitter questions, I feel like, but again, if we haven't answered your question, go to biolablogs.com and you can ask our bloggers direct questions. Really quick, November 15th is coming up, the early action application deadline. Go to undergrad.biola.edu/apply 2015 and you can start an application, or you can just go to undergrad.biola.edu/apply and kind of read up on the steps to apply. It's going to be worth your while. It's amazing. But as we wrap up, like literally like 40 seconds here, let's just go around the circle, start underneath the back, right? And we'll just give like 1 or 2 words about what Biola has meant to you.
Life-changing. Those are my 2 words.
Great.
Yeah.
And it could be like a phrase too. Yeah.
Yeah, just the relationships that I've developed here and the ways that I've felt the Lord are super incredible, and it's seriously been life-changing.
Really have to think about that one.
Hard question.
I'd say it's a tie between growth and it kind of goes along with that, like finding who I am, not as, you know, as a man, but also who I am and, you know, my identity I find in Christ.
Yeah, I would just say learning what it means to serve God and be built on a rock. You know, I think like when I was at home, it was like, oh, this is what it means to serve God. But to realize that in Wisconsin, He's the same God there that He is here and in Hawaii, and He's the same God in all these different places. So, yeah, learning more what it's like to serve God regardless of circumstances, and that He's, yeah.
Yeah, I would say just from my own like personal experience, just learning how to learn, like that takes a lot of work. Just learning how to learn and applying that to all different types of learning styles and study habits, and then also just like every day, just trying to trust Jesus, just with balance.
I would definitely say growth, just in so many ways. Definitely spiritually, but just literally in every way. I feel like I'm growing so much, and just the community, as far as like being in a community where I see like people who like their hearts are like just like in love with Christ. Like when I'm surrounded by people like that, that has just been like so powerful. So.
For me, I think growth definitely, but also learning about God's love within those hardships that I go through. With the hardships I go through, I am able to cling on God, cling to the Holy Spirit more, so the Holy Spirit is able to lead me during those hardships. So, yeah, learning about just leaning on God through those hard times.
On Monday in chapel, DBC, Biola's president, Dr. Barry Corey, he talked about how a student who was thinking about coming to Biola asked him two questions. Is this where I want to be where I'm at my best, and is this where I want to be when I'm at my worst? And I feel like I've been in both of those places while I've been here, and the answer to that is yes for me. I found community for hard times and community for good times, and so much growth in just leaning on Jesus.
For me, it's allowed me to be more adventurous. I've been able to be adventurous in like where I go, in the friends that I meet, and then also in like the risks I take in my relationship with God. I feel like I've learned to rely on Him a lot more, and that can be really scary. It can feel like an adventure just doing that. And so Biola has really allowed me to do that, but also encouraged me to do that.
And for me, like, I think the subject of growth is very prominent in this group. But like, yeah, I've been here for 3 years, and growing spiritually, I feel like back home, it's just like, wow, it's so different to be here in a different state, to be surrounded by all Christian community, and it's just life-changing.
Well, thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. Again, this is the Biola Bloggers. Go to www.biolablogs.com to follow us, and thank you.